Yo, this is Soul Drum 86 bringing you another video. I know it's been a while since I did a video about this game. It's been a while since I've even played this game. AEW Fight Forever is a game that I have tried so many times to vouch for. I've made videos here and there talking about the game is fun and blah, 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 blah. And gameplay is fun. You know what I mean? Gameplay is fun. And because I was having so much fun and just using my imagination with the game, it was at the time I was like, okay, it's really not that bad, right? And I still don't think that it is a like bad game in terms of like the fun factor. I think the fun factor's there. I think the game controls are there, all of that type of stuff. I will never change my mind on that. But what I wanted to talk about, I wanted to kind of get in on the fun of everybody kind of doing these videos now about like where the state of the game, like where it went wrong and all of these other things. And one thing that surprises me that a lot of people don't bring up that I'm going to bring up in this video today, the thing that killed AEW Fight Forever was the marketing. It was the marketing of the game. It was the lack of communication from the very beginning. I'm gonna take you guys back to before this game ever released, before it was ever even close to being released. When Kenny Omega did a video talking about how guys were going to keep you updated. And this was like after that first trailer. This was when he was wearing, maybe the first trailer was when because he was acting like Steve Jobs. It was when he was wearing the black turtleneck and the glasses. And there was a video where he said that, and we're going to keep you guys updated about where we are in this game. We're going to keep you updated. That's what he kept saying. We're going to keep you guys updated. Now, he didn't keep saying it. He said in that video, we're going to keep you guys updated. And after that video, it was the weirdest radio silence ever. I don't know if any of you remember that. It was right after Kenny Omega. Now, I don't know if he spoke something that he shouldn't have spoke. To me, I feel like you're getting the okay from the people above you, to say, hey, yeah, let the fans know that we're going to be keeping them updated on the progress of the game. And none of that ever happened. That's why you started to see the things where people were getting impatient. I'm also making this video because somebody went at me in the comment section to a video about the trailer for Jay White coming out. And they were like, no, it just people like you are impatient, blah, 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 blah. First and foremost, I was always patient about AEW Fight Forever. I was never like, man, they need to release this now. Like, yeah, I couldn't wait to play it. But I was always patient about this game. Even when I'm excited for a game, I'm still patient because I want it to work. I want it to come out and actually function. That's why you guys haven't seen me have videos talking about, oh, they need to release Ultra Pro Wrestling now. They need to release blah, blah, blah now. I don't talk like that because I'm patient. It's not something that I think about on a daily basis. I don't waste my energy in my time saying to myself, man, I want this game to be out today. The devs need to put this game out now. That's never been me, and that will never be me. But that's also why I'm making this video. But to answer that person, I already addressed them once. But to answer them in this video, if they come across it, the reason why there were people that were impatient was because the communication that was promised, let alone the communication that should just already be there in this day and age when it comes to gaming, it wasn't there. So that's why you had a lot of fans doing hashtag AEW Wait Forever instead of Fight Forever. I remember those jokes. I know you guys remember them too. AEW Wait Forever. And it's because nobody was getting anything. Now, if you were to tell fans, hey, this game is far from being complete, fans would have understood. There's always going to be that level of disappointment of, man, that's kind of far out. But if it's that far out, that means that they're really taking their time on the game. You know how many times I see that comment? And it actually makes me happy when I see that from fellow gamers. When I see gamers say, man, I really would love to play this now. But all that shows me is that they're really caring about the product that they're getting ready to release. And you see that comment all the time. Nobody is like crazy impatient and wants the game to be rushed out. people got excited because back then when the game was first being developed, AEW was hot. On top of that, 2K is not the greatest game. We've made videos on this channel constantly about the problems and the issues that plague the 2K series. The game is broken at times. There's certain things that never get addressed and fixed, even with patch updates. They stay broken. I remember, what was it, 2K22? They never fixed throwing opponents to the one side of the ring in the corner where they'll just keep running and then eventually stop, but they never connect to the corner ring turnbuckles. I still remember that glitch never being fixed or addressed. It remained a problem that year. And that's ridiculous. It's no excuse. So look, yeah, people are going to be excited about a new wrestling game. Now, the other thing, again, no communication. Nothing was clear about the communication that they did talk about with AEW Fight Forever. I remember when they did the showcase at that Gamescom or whatever, where they had one of the developers talking with Evil Uno and Colt Cabana. And when they were answering fan questions, fans were like, well, can you edit the wrestlers' ring attires? The guy said, yeah, you can edit the ring attires now. But when the game first came out, you couldn't. And you can't edit the ring attires the way that fan was asking, could you edit the ring attires? He was talking about MJF wears different patterns. Like sometimes MJF will wear white tights and his logo will be green. Sometimes it's the red tights and the gold logo. He's worn black tights with the white logo. You weren't able to change those colors. That you weren't able to do those simple things, but they never spelled that out for fans. Almost everything that was released or talked about with AEW Fight Forever, they really never did a deep dive about what the game is going to bring. There was never any videos of the developers talking about, hey, this is what you can do in this. Look at how they're promoting NCAA 25 right now from EA. EA has been releasing a video, it seems like every week, talking about a different feature and a new feature that is in NCAA 25. Because they're finally back. We finally get a college football game again, and they're at least letting the people know in detail, this is this, this is this, this is this, and it's in detail. They're not just saying you can do this and then just kind of going along their business. No, they're talking to you in precise detail what each mode is going to give you, what each new feature means, how the new features work, etc., etc. We never got a deep dive from AEW Fight Forever. We never got a deep dive. They told us it was like No Mercy. No, it's not. It felt more like Def Jam than No Mercy. There's some similarities. It's the same like engine, I guess, but it kind of played more like the Def Jam Fight for New York game, which is not a bad thing, but that's really what it felt like to me. Because Def Jam felt different from when the Aki engine was used in the Nintendo 64 days. The No Mercy in WrestleMania 2000 and WCW versus NWO Revenge. It was upgraded. It's different. Things felt different. There was some similarities. Some things were the same, but it still felt different overall. Marketing killed AEW Fight Forever. It was technically dead on arrival, but we just had hope that maybe there would be some things that were added to the game. They never updated the shop. Players had all of this money, including myself. Look at all the money I got. That I actually had way more than that you see on the screen right now. I just ended up buying everything that you could buy. Like for the creation suite, I just bought it just to buy it because there was nothing that they were putting. They never put any of the wrestlers like ring attires in there. They never put arenas in there or arena parts for you to create the arenas. They never added in Collision, but they added in all of these other goofy arenas, even though the beach arena was cool, but they added in all of these goofy arenas and didn't do Collision. They released DLC packs without informing that a DLC pack was coming. It would just kind of be like, hey, we got one coming tomorrow. And that would be cool to a certain extent if communication had been better up until those points where they would just say, hey, surprise, surprise, bitches, we got a DLC. Like, like that would have worked if the communication was better. But with the communication being absolutely silent, you're setting yourself up for failure in a day and age where it's easy to communicate, in a day and age where so many gaming companies do the bare minimum of communication. In AEW Fight Forever, it was always radio silence. And then it just felt like, from the fans' point of view, it was like, well, you guys don't care. So if you don't care, how do you expect us to keep spending money on these DLC packs that are outrageously priced? The pricing of the DLC didn't get better until the very end. They were selling the game for $100, and now you can get all of the season pass for, I think, like $40. Too little, too late. What are you trying to do? The game should have been $40. Like, come on. The game should have been free to like 30. Really, it did. Really, it really is not even worth 40. I can give you 30. I can kind of see 30, but the game wasn't worth that. The game's marketing failed. Now, if they would have came out the gate saying like, look, guys, this is what you need to expect when you play this game, and go through the list of what to expect, because a lot of fans, because of the lack of communication, a lot of fans, we put into our heads that, okay, yeah, it's an arcade game, but they're saying like, Kenny Omega even said, if you want to play it as a straight up wrestling game, you can. So they never even were definitive in the fact that it's an arcade game. They have an arcade mode in Stadium Stampede, but when you actually play the wrestling part of this game, it doesn't necessarily, it's not like you're playing WWE All-Stars. It's not like you're playing Battlegrounds. It's not like you're playing WrestleMania, the arcade game. It doesn't feel like those games. It feels like a legit wrestling game. The style, it does have a very like simulation style to the gameplay. Pin system, never addressed. Now, I will say this, it doesn't excuse it, but SmackDown Shut Your Mouth had the same type of pin system. Oddly enough, Ukes went way back in the day to that. When I was recently playing SmackDown Shut Your Mouth before, it was was it like last winter? When I was playing, I was like, wow, this actually feels or not last winter, but like this past winter that just happened. Well, yeah, I guess, but this past winter before all this season we're in now, when I was playing SmackDown, and I was like noticing the similarities gameplay wise to AEW Fight Forever. I was noticing that, a match could end very quick and you could not kick out sometimes. There were times where I would be dominating in a match, but then they would do a couple moves and I wouldn't really be able to do anything. And they would hit me like with a body slam. And it was like 1, 2, 3 and match was over. And I'm button mashing like crazy to try to get out of the pin. So it wasn't like this was their first time doing a crappy pin system. But you can argue that they shouldn't have gone way back to that for a pin system. They should have had some type of indicator that lets you know that you're about to kick out or you're about to just be done in the match. But they never did that. We never had a cage match. None of that, right? We never got anything in this game that was asked, but at the same time, I'm wondering, was that the plan all along? I don't think AEW Fight Forever was even meant to be a game like that. They promised updates regularly, but we didn't get updates regularly. They were very far and few in between. Very far and few in between. People were expecting the shop to be updated. People were expecting these things. Right? We were expecting the Collision Arena. We were expecting ring attires to be updated. But the ring attires weren't. They were never updated. It's kind of crazy how they were never updated. The ring attires were never Except for the one time when Stadium Stampede first dropped and you could pick all of the different John Moxley clothes. You had different Wardlow outfits, Jade Cargill outfits. Sting had another outfit. Um, uh, Trent Beretta was updated because he had been buzzed his hair, so you could get the buzzed haired version of Trent Beretta. And then they just stopped after that. And we were thinking that maybe the regular updates are going to come like that. Maybe we'll get Chris Statlander in her new ring gear. Maybe we'll get multiple ring gears for Daniel Bryanson. Maybe we'll get more ring gear options for FTR. None of that ever happened. It was always radio silence. There was never even a, hey guys, we're working on this from the team. They never, not once did they, hey guys, we're working on this. We never even got anything like that. I remember somebody saying that the people at THQ Nordic, it's like a language barrier, right? Okay. Well, you have to have some type of liaison. You got to have some type of middleman that can speak English well, who can articulate some things. Maybe they can't articulate it, right? Now, this was something I just saw from people here and there, right? On Reddit, all kind of stuff. This is just stuff that I saw. So I'm not even really truly entertaining it, but I'm just going to just throw it out there. Not me personally have been told. I've just looked at comments where they said, well, they say that there's a language barrier and all of this, blah, 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 blah. Well, if there is a language barrier, which I don't understand, whatever, you still know what the fans are saying. Somebody somewhere in that company knows English and knows how to read. They know what's happening on Twitter. They know what's happening on YouTube. They're watching YouTube videos about their game. They're seeing people trash it. They're seeing people ask questions. Why aren't we getting this? When are we getting this? Why is this like this? Why is the pen system this? And nobody's saying anything. Nobody can come through. Nobody's saying, hey, yo, I know they were talking about that Zaidi dude. He barely did anything, and he was always on vacation. So it's like, okay, you got to appoint somebody, THQ, AEW, Ukes, whoever. You got to appoint somebody to be the person to talk to the fans. Hey, guys, look, this is what is going on. Maybe you can't tell us all of the details. We're not stupid. No company can ever tell you everything. Hey, our computers crashed and this, like, they can't tell us every little detail, right? I'm pretty sure it's against policy. You don't want to you don't want the cat to be let out of the bag with certain things. However, you do have to have somebody there to calm things down, because this is the release. I'm talking about, this is back during the release of their game. You got to bring somebody out there to calm the situation down. That's with everything. It's just like when a celebrity does something stupid and gets in trouble, they got PR people to be like, hey, yo, shut up. We'll handle this. Don't make no video about it. Don't tweet about it. Don't talk to anybody. If you get calls for interviews, shut it down. We will handle it. They needed to do that and they didn't do that. And they had been silent during the whole making of this game. We never got in detail what this game truly was going to be. We had somewhat of an idea, but that's all we had, was somewhat of an idea. I don't think anybody knew that the game was going to be taken in this route, especially for their first game. I understand being different. You don't want to be 2K. You want to be different. That's why people are excited about Ultra Pro Wrestling. They know it's not going to be anything like 2K. So it's not like people are even saying that AEW should be like 2K. Be different. Have different controls. Be a different game fundamentally. That's fine. But you got to talk to the people that you want to buy the game. You got to talk to the people who did buy the game. Instead of just staying silent, dropping DLC saying, hey, give us $25 to $30 for 3 characters and maybe an arena. This game should have been free. But I'm not going to talk about what the price should be. Like I said, this video was about where I feel AEW Fight Forever went wrong. It was marketing. It was not talking about the game enough. It was not giving a deep dive of any kind. All we got was Evil Uno playing against other wrestlers on his Twitch account. That's it. That's it. It was a different wrestler, a group of wrestlers from AEW playing the game with Evil Uno, and they thought that was enough. And he was not able to say so much about the game. And I'm like, with a game that has so little in it, what the hell what was the NDA for? I can't talk about that, guys. I can't talk about that, guys. I mean, that's all he kept saying. Can't talk about this, can't talk about that. Well, they can't even talk about anything because they refuse to talk about it. They refused to talk about it. I mean, that's crazy to me. I've never seen it. And from veterans, THQ, I know it's a different team for the most part. Pretty sure they still had some leftovers from the crew, but like Ukes, and they know what they're doing. They were a part of making some of the greatest wrestling games in history. And you mean to tell me when they hook up with AEW, it just all goes to shit? I mean, it's all good. I mean, look, it ain't no sweat off my back. It is what it is. Again, it's another video. I'm impassioned. I'm not angry. I'm impassioned. I'm more excited about the future of wrestling games. I'm excited to see what the wrestling code has. I am extremely excited for Ultra Pro Wrestling. Ultra Pro Wrestling, man, I'm telling you, when you talk about the list of games that I am excited for, that is at the very tippity top. That is at the very tippity top for me right now. It is. But I mean, I think that's pretty much all I got, man. I covered it. There's just the lack of communication really, really hurt AEW Fight Forever. And they didn't do themselves any favor with making the DLC cost what it cost. People already felt gypped as is. And then you're still trying to do price the stuff out to that extreme. And then on top of that, you're not even updating on when things are coming, what is coming next. It was just, here you go. That's not the way that you want to have a game come out. And here's the thing. Here's the last thing I'll say before this video is done. At the end of the day, guys, if AEW makes another game, which they probably will, they have burned so many bridges with the fans, they are going to have to come with it. The way that everything that they did with AEW Fight Forever, they have to do the complete opposite for this new game that they have coming out, if they do that, right? Because we don't even know concrete evidence if they're coming out with a new game. But if they are, they're going to have to talk ad nauseum about it. They're going to have to do deep dive after deep dive after deep dive and tell every little detail of what the game is going to have. No more secrecy, no more radio silence. They cannot afford to do that again, because the minute that they do that again, they can expect another failure. They can expect even less sales. And then on top of that, AEW, the product itself on TV, is not even doing that great. They're losing viewership. It is not as hot as a company as it was before. So you got that working against you too. So there's a lot going against AEW right now. Fight for in terms of video games. I'm not really going to talk into the company side of things, but just from the video game side of things, when you come out like this and this is your first impressions are everything. We all learned that. We learned that back in school. My football coach taught me that first impressions are everything, because he had a class that kind of prepared you for life, like interviews and all that stuff. I forgot what the class was called, but it was stuff that prepared you for life. And he said first impressions are everything. And for AEW's first impression, they got the gameplay right, but everything else they just did not get right. And I tried, guys. I tried. For so long, I was like, man, this game isn't that bad. It's not that bad. But at the end of the day, they put out what they put out. So they got to live with that. So hopefully they learn their lesson. Hopefully maybe they get with somebody else. They got the engine. They keep the engine. The engine is great, but make a game that's for the wrestling fans. Think about everything that everybody wanted in this game. Create a pay-per-view, something like a universe mode, something like a GM mode. Keep that in mind, AEW. Keep that in mind. No more mini games. No more mini games. No more focus on this silly stuff. No more Stadium Stampede unless it's the actual Stadium Stampede that they do in real life. No more Stadium Stampede unless you're going to do it the way that they do it on TV. The only way that a new AEW game will be successful is if they do everything completely opposite of what they did for AEW Fight Forever. So now, if a fan asks one of the developers, can you edit the wrestlers? They can no longer just say yes. They now have to say yes. For example, you can make Adam Cole wear his yellow and black. You can change the color palettes to every little thing that is on their ring attire. Not this weird stuff where you're making them have all flames or polka dots and all of that. Nah. And it changes every part of their ring gear when you might just want to change their trunks or their pants, but you want their knee pads to be a different color and you can't do that. Now they're going to have to do, now they have put themselves in that position where they're going to have to talk in that much detail about their next game. They put that on themselves because they didn't do that the first time around. They just kept saying yes and no. Yeah, you could do this. Oh, we got created an arena. It sucks. Yeah, we got created characters. It sucks. If anybody is pissed off that I'm talking like this, because I know how people get about their games, especially when they ride hard for them. I get it. I get it. You're passionate. You might be like, man, Soul Drum, shut the F up. I get it. I get it. But I'm just speaking the truth. I'm speaking my truth. I'm speaking the truth. I don't even know what my truth means. I don't know when people started saying that. I'm just speaking the truth. I'm speaking about what is in front of me and what I witnessed. I wanted this game to succeed because for so long I've been playing 2K and 2K always disappointed me. For the most part. Not always, but for the most part. We as wrestling fans just wanted more. There's no problem with that. We as wrestling fans, especially if you're as old as I am, we remember back in the day when we played No Mercy and WrestleMania 2000 and WCW versus NWO Revenge and all of the SmackDown games. Even the bad ones were better than AEW Fight Forever. Even the bad SmackDown versus Raws. But we remember them. We remember the effort. Remember WrestleMania, what was it? WrestleMania 21 for the Xbox? That wasn't the greatest wrestling game, but man, you could see the effort put into it. Like looking back at it, like retrospect, when you just go back and kind of look at WrestleMania 21, you'd be like, okay, it wasn't that bad. But looking back at the debacle of AEW Fight Forever, man, that's going to be something crazy. It is going to, look, this is history now. This is history now, man. So it is what it is. Thank you guys for tuning in as always. This is your boy Soul Drum 86 and I'm out. Peace.